No problem. And who are the ancestors? You're saying your ancestors? Do you really know them?
Oh, yeah,
I do.
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
I do.
fantastic. And who, I mean, do you know the story?
My great-great-grandfather, James
Uh-huh.
Stephen Davis Sr.,
Wow.
was born into slavery.
You're
I
so
know.
lucky.
I know.
You can trace it back.
Yes, I can.
And how did he come? How did he come over here?
His grandfather is the one that came over here. His grandparents
Uh-huh.
are the ones that came here from Africa.
And how were you able to
Now,
trace?
I've been here because I've been able to do it through Ancestry. And I've been able to trace not only that side, but on my father's side back to 1820.
Oh my
I
God, you're so
know,
lucky.
So I don't have to question whether my ancestors were in changed.
That's right.
And no other person here that's an African American that is an African American has to worry about it, even if they can't trace their ancestry back. They know that if they came from here and they are an African American,
Right.
their ancestors were slaves.
Yes.
Right.
No question to even be asked.
No, of course
We're
not.
We're not going to be able to find, everybody that's a slave is not going to be able to discover their history.
Because
But
they
as
erased it.
long as they know their ancestors were here in this country, back during that time, they were slaves.
But if, let's say, I mean, it's kind of interesting concept, by the way, it just occurred to me, that where do you draw the line when it comes to slavery?
I don't understand
Time-wise,
what
okay,
you mean by that.
this is what I mean by that. Let's say I'm Jewish,
Okay.
okay? So you're talking about the slavery that was happening in what, 17th,
No.
16th
No, no,
century,
I'm not
18th
talking
century.
I'm not
1860.
saying right, but I'm not saying that the aspect of slavery has ended. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that they're talking about chain migration.
Right.
And I was bringing up the point that chain migration. That's what chain migration looks like
What
to us.
I understand for you,
So-
right? I get it. I get that part.
So.
But it has nothing to do with the current chain migration. You're playing on words. I mean, I get it.
No, I'm not playing. You're right, but understanding this, a lot of what's been said has been playing on words, and people want to use that as a sense of saying playing on words because people can use playing on words as a way to be racist.
But why?
So that's why when they said chain migration, that gives the connotation that you feel that other people who are coming into this country are bad for this country. But I was making the point that you brought us here.
You brought
to
us
this
over
country
here. We didn't
in
ask to be here
change.
originally.
We didn't ask
Okay.
to
Never asked to be
but
here.
we are here as the process of chain migration.
Okay.
So that's what this is letting
Got it.
them know. That when you do use words, you do have to at times be careful because when you're using those words can give the person the idea that you are not being considerate or being mindful of what that word means.
Let me ask you.
And when you continually do it, then like first time might be a mistake, but when you continually do it, then that goes beyond a mistake.
But what about the doors? Can you talk about the doors? We're using the word chains in this context. I mean, to me, I'm kind of thick-skinned. I came from Russia originally,
Well, again-
so I don't care. Chain, okay.
Well,
I mean,
see,
it's
for you-
this one
well,
concept.
Listen.
But why am I different?
Your history is different. Your history is
your
not going to make you
your
feel
experience
that.
is
It's like me going up to a Jewish person
Yes.
and saying to them, "Wow, I think Hitler is awesome." You get what I'm saying? That
For some, it's okay.
Well,
I mean,
no,
if you
no,
say
no,
that,
no, no.
why should
What
bother
I'm
me?
doing
There are
then-
stupid people
No,
around the country, around the
that's
world,
right.
right?
That's right.
there's
There's
absolutely
stupid
stupid
You
people.
cannot-
But what I'm saying
what
is,
this
what I'm
country-
saying is that once I say that to that person who I know is Jewish, I'm saying to them, I do not care about how that affects you and how that you were victimized in the process
Fine.
of it. So
Fine.
I've said it and
But-
not taken consideration.
But let me be devil's advocate.
Go ahead, be
okay?
devil's advocate. Because I
Good.
love devil's advocate. Go ahead.
Good. So let's say since we started talking about chains, obviously the connotation is that the blacks, yes, that's true. There was a slave trade back then.
Yeah.
The slaves were hunted in Africa, but by other Africans, by the way. And so wait, let me finish. Can I
finish the statement? Let him finish the statement. You want to play devil's advocate? So go
exactly,
ahead.
I'm devil's advocate.
Right.
Okay.
Playing devil's advocate. He's trying to do this to spark something. So go ahead. I know this well.
So-
the new generation.
So-
Devil's advocate. Go ahead.
So way back, and that's why we're talking about, the timeline. Way back, we the Jews, we were slaves too. Who built the pyramids? We did. But for some reason, we the Jews, we never ever bring up slavery.
We're not talking about
Let me
religious
answer.
connotation.
Yes.
They had to live with their slavery after the slaves were free.
Right.
They had to wear it on their face. They had to wear it on their skin.
Exactly.
You
Yes.
can't get out of it.
Yes.
They've been living with it,
So,
and it was too easy for people to draw the line at color. And that's the problem.
okay.
But not even. But
Now-
You don't
let
have,
me-
when your children lose that accent,
Uh-huh.
got a little accent. When your children lose that accent, you're as white and you're as free as anyone has been. But
Right.
they have to carry the color. That's
What's
the problem.
what's
Let me go
wrong with the
back.
color?
There's
no,
nothing-
I'm a proud Jewish. You're a proud black.
We're not saying that you can't be proud of anything that you're saying. Here's the
I am
Let me go back.
colorblind.
Let me
I
go
don't
back.
care what color you are.
know.
I
Let
don't
me
care
go
what
back.
religion
Let me
you
go
are.
back.
I care
But-
about one thing.
But I want to go back.
Who you are.
But I want to go back.
Let's go
Yes.
back.
No.
Yes.
Let me go back.
Okay, sorry.
He went
Devil's
into-
advocate, remember?
He went into this thing about Jews being slaves.
Yes.
But if you go by what it says in the Bible, God freed the Jews, and they were allowed to live without the repercussions of being slaves. Okay? Then,
How so? We were for 2,000 years. We have no land of our own.
No,
we
Jews
were
do that.
persecuted
No,
and murdered.
No,
Pogroms.
No.
No,
You
so-
can't. No. You can't go into saying that, because within what
I can't.
if you go with what the Bible says, within what the Bible says, God promised them land.
So what?
Promised them
Okay.
what they were supposed to be doing. So, in other words, they were given particular rights and they were given particular privileges that negated them to have to worry about what this.
Really? We, the Jews, had nothing to worry about? Are you kidding me?
You definitely have things to worry about.
Thank you. Thank
What
you.
you're saying
Let me
is,
finish.
Yes,
what you're
yeah.
saying
Let him
is,
Okay.
finish. What I'm saying to
Yes.
you is that within the things that happened during that time, you were given the opportunity to not let it be
By
your
who?
legacy.
By
because-
who? By who?
According to what it says
Wait.
with the Bible.
And
with
who
the things
is-
it says, God and
By the-
whoever else you say.
So-
now, let me go back. Now,
Yes.
Now, let's bring it forward.
Yes.
The thing that
Let me
happened
interrupt
is
you.
that
I've been honored to witness this dialogue. I'm glad this is going on.
it needs to be out.
so now let's bring it forward.
Sure.
Now the Jews are faced with this situation where they are killed, ostracized, everything imaginable that you could think that you could do to
Yes.
an individual.
And Hitler
Individual-
eliminated
let me finish.
every
Let me
third
finish.
Jew.
Let me
Yes.
finish.
Just continuing
they
the thought.
were,
No,
they were,
listen,
We're hearing you. We just
Yes.
they were, all these things happened to them.
Yes.
Now.
To us.
To
Yes.
you all. Now, here's the difference.
Yes.
When it was all
Thank
over
you.
with you all, in terms of, Hitler being conquered and things like that, you all were allowed to celebrate and to remember and to commemorate your suffering without anyone
Really?
without anyone
In Iran, in Iraq, in USSR, in Morocco, in Yemen.
Listen,
In
I'm
this
talking
and
about right here. No.
But
I'm
in
talking
America, we're all
I'm
equal.
talking
That's the
about-
beauty of
No, 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 no,
America.
no. Let me
talk
You
about right
are
here.
as
Let me-
equal
let me
as
jump in.
me.
No. You may say that. You say that, and
Yeah,
you
of
understand
course.
that as a person, and that's
Of
good
course.
for you, and that's
Of
great
course
for
I
you.
do.
But in this history,
Yes.
in this history of America, what we're
Yes.
speaking on of today, this
2017.
Not 2017. 7th, this is 2018. But let me finish. Now, if you think about it,
Yes.
we had laws from
Yes.
Jim Crow laws, especially in the South,
Yes.
that were federal laws saying that we cannot go into
Back then,
we cannot go into
there were a lot of-
that was 50 or 60 years
was
ago.
made
That's
to-
not that long ago. if
No,
you
it's
think
long
about
ago.
it.
No, it's
No, it's
very
not
long.
that long
No, it
ago.
wasn't.
60?
My mother is 60. My mother was there. So
60?
it's not that long
It's a
ago.
long, yes.
It's not that long
Here's
ago.
why.
What about
Here's
now?
why.
What about the fact that
Big
my
difference.
son, my college
Yes.
graduate son,
Yes.
who lives in a
Yo!
multi-ethnic community
Uh-huh.
with a large
trying to
percentage
explain
of
what our
Jewish
sign
people,
means.
Yes.
still can't get in a car with his brown-skinned friends and not be stopped by the police.
See here,
Every single time I mean,
will
come on.
never
Yes.
take you
Because he's not from here.
Never.
He doesn't understand.
Today,
Yes.
modern day,
Modern day slavery. Uh-huh.
taking our black Hispanic.
There's
That's it. But
so but let me yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
You're talking about this long ago.
Yes.
So you may think that's not that long ago because it hasn't. I can't speak for you. This hasn't happened to you. You haven't suffered from.
that's why he can't
Thank you.
identify.
You can't identify with this, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, that's why
your
we're
bringing
making
up
it.
is different.
Let me
And
repeat.
Let me finish. No. Let me
Okay,
finish
sure.
because you sit here and say that it's happened so long ago.
Yes,
My
it is a long
grandmother
time ago. And
was-
explain
it's a long time ago.
what I mean that it's a long time ago. When you finish.
Okay. So you say that it's a long time
Yes,
ago.
60 years is
Now, 60
eternity.
Years may seem an
Yes.
eternity to you, but
No,
unfortunately
not to me.
what's
To
happening
the laws.
is that we're still sitting here
Uh-huh.
and we are not benefiting from us being free and being able to go to where we can be American. We're still suffering consequences
And being
from being black and being in America because everything is black and white.
Uh-huh.
It has already been established and it has been established throughout law.
Really?
These people have allowed and sat there and said, you
Really?
cannot sit here based on the color of your skin.
Really?
Just the color of your skin alone.
How-
I do not like you because you are dark.
How?
I don't like you because you have curly hair. It's something about
Perfect.
you that I don't like because you
That's
don't have
perfectly
curly hair.
fine.
That's fine?
Yes, the
So
perfect.
you can sit here and kill
It's perfectly
somebody
fine.
because you don't
No.
like their hair?
Let me explain what I mean. What I
me
mean by
see. I would
it's
love to
perfectly
hear.
absolutely. So it's perfectly fine if you don't like me because I have a curly hair for a very simple reason.
That's fine.
You just don't like my curly hair. Here's the difference.
What's the difference?
When we talk about the laws that, let's say, prohibits me to take certain position because I have a curly hair, that's a completely different story. In 60,
That's what
in
happened to us. And no,
60
a civil rights law has not been
60
60
years, things.
Where was the civil
60
rights
years
law?
ago, with the Jews, there were the signs. Jews and dogs are not allowed
But-
on the beach.
But when was
Am I complaining? No.
That's
Things
fine.
have
If you don't wanna
changed.
complain,
No,
but
because
you
things
can
have
walk in
changed.
any
Things
place.
have. I have
You
curly
can
hair.
walk
People hate me.
Yes, and you hate me. I have curly hair. You hate me.
I'm kidding.
Black.
You can walk in any
But this is
place.
Listen,
my thing.
listen.
I can walk in
Listen.
any place. You
can go
don't
anywhere,
understand.
too.
I have Jewish
You-
ancestors.
you're-
I have
you're a
African
beautiful
ancestors.
woman. I'm sure
You
you'll be
don't- you're
welcome
missing my
everywhere.
point. You're missing my point, though. My great
No, I don't.
great grandmother
Yes.
was a woman who was raped and had children who ended up being ancestors.
My grandfathers
people.
were
My point is-
burned.
my point
Were
is this.
burned
My point-
in
you're missing-
the
That's fine.
ovens.
So you understand
Things
that we have a
have
similar
changed
struggle.
in the 60s.
So it's changed,
Here's the difference.
but it hasn't
Listen,
changed that much.
okay, let me explain something, my position. Just one second. Let me explain my position.
It's not my position. It's something we're never going to agree with.
That's
and
fine. That's
I
fine.
just
That's
want
that's
you
why
to know
America.
that.
Sure, it's okay.
Of course.
So
you can't
so
sit here and negate our struggle
so
because you
so
don't understand.
so look, look.
Go ahead.
The difference is, let's say when we talk about my tribe, my Jewish tribe, once we got the opportunities, we're not
Thank you.
we're not going back to the victimhood. I don't want to go back to the victimhood. Let me finish. You brought up Hitler. It's in the past. The Germany now went through catharsis. Anti-Semitism is outlawed. Propaganda of Nazism is outlawed. So why should I go back to the era? Historically, I do, of course, but it has no relevance to my existence today anymore.
It's not relevant.
Anymore.
So you're always gonna forget
It's
about
not.
it? So you
No.
forget about
No.
it?
No. No.
So it's not irrelevant though.
Sure.
But what
Sure. All right.
Here's the bottom line. Let me just say this to him, and then
and
we're done
children
with it. So,
are
here's
incarcerated. Every day, they're incarcerated. So,
Listen.
It's gonna be hard to say because it's not his.
whether they have a good job,
So for him, he can forget and seriously it doesn't apply to me. When it still applies to us in this country today, because they still do things to let us remind us that, oh, you are of this color, and because of certain stereotypes
that's a beautiful
in the
picture.
past, we don't agree with you, or we always are going to think some type of something of the table with you because of your
all the time.
This is something that you don't understand, and that's fair. I'm not going to argue about it.
Look.
Is that your son?
Look. Here's.
let me just say this, and then,
Sure.
then we're done with it, because I
Okay.
don't want to spend all this time.
No, because
Fine.
Let
Fine.
me say
And
this
it's okay, we
last
can agree to
thing.
disagree.
Right. Let me just say
But that's
this.
why America. So I came from USSR. Don't forget, if you talk about suffering, you
I
have
just
no
came from
clue.
Russia, and they're sitting here
But
going.
let me say-
Well, Russia and USSR are two completely different
Well, yeah,
things.
yeah,
You know,
that's-
completely different
Right.
things.
Let me just say this. This is
Yes.
be done with it.
So suffering, trust
I'm
me.
not saying I'm not having a conversation. I am.
Good.
What I was going to say.
That's what makes America the greatest country on
what-
earth.
right.
We can disagree and still be
disagree and
friends,
still be friends.
and then drink beer together.
What happens
Yes,
is
ma'am.
that it makes it difficult for you to understand, because when you have demanded certain rights, you didn't have to go through the process that African Americans have had to go through in the process of trying to get their rights. So when slavery ended, it didn't end anything, it just took away the chains, but the invisible chains were still there. So what happens is that throughout this process of us being here, and all this time, and that's why when you say in the 60 years and this and that, throughout all this time, in one way or another, we have continually had to fight in order to get our rights, even if it's written in the Constitution, because we are not recognized in the same way that white people recognize. Or
Do
even
you
Jews.
know how much anti-Semitism still exists among
absolutely.
I'm not
people?
saying- I'm not saying
But it
that.
does not
No.
exist
But
on the-
listen, I didn't finish.
It does, of course, on a personal. On a listen.
around the world.
Yes, it does. It does. Yes, but it exists on a personal level. There are sick people that have lived, and will live forever, and there's nothing you can do about it. However, I don't think that's the right approach to go back to victimhood. I never did. I hope that you don't. Please.
What I'm
Yes.
saying to
on the
you
head.
is,
And if it makes people
what I'm saying to
uncomfortable,
you
it makes people
is
uncomfortable.
that the truth. What
You want me to stay here?
The last thing I wanted to say to you is.
You want a picture of us?
No, people are trying.
Of you. Not me, okay. Sorry. Yes.
This is not victim.
Good, please. I hope that you don't.
We don't
Okay.
It's just a reminder. We're never doing this.
Okay, please don't.
This is a reminder to let you know
because-
that
Okay, that's fine.
Just as it says, if you
Okay.
do not
No, good.
recognize and you do not know your
said, 60
history,
years later.
you are bound to repeat it. We're trying
Correct.
to make sure that individuals know, because we've never ever in this country dealt with slavery. We've never dealt with it. Never.
I would
never
say-
had our conversations. Never acknowledged it. Never
With-
did what we can do to
With
make
the
sure we-
election of
So,
a black, I would say white people electing black president,
That's where everybody
the
go wrong.
story of slavery should be over. It should be
That's where
the
everybody went
last,
wrong.
the
That's where
last
everybody went
chapter that would say that yes, you blacks have achieved the highest levels in this country of power.
Have you asked the question? though,
Yes.
Why after
Yes.
the first African American
Yes.
president in the United States
Yes.
of America the next president to come into office
Yes.
is the most
that
racist that you've ever seen in the history, vocally.
It's debatable.
Oh, blatant. No, I'm
It's
saying
debatable.
blatantly.
It's debatable.
He
And that's
supports
besides
the
the point.
KKK.
That's
He
what-
supports the NRA. He supports police brutality. He supports attacking women. He supports
doesn't. He
everything
doesn't.
that is opposed to.
He doesn't. I know.
He
I know.
supports
doesn't.
everything that the former
He doesn't.
president. He's opposed to everything that the former president put in place for the civil liberties of this country.
He's not.
What I'm saying to you
Yes.
is, if you want us to go forward,
Yes.
if you believe that we should start with a clean slate since that president was in office,
Yes.
then we should never have to worry about our car being stopped for no reason on the road. We should never have to worry about our women being pulled over and strip searched in public.
And it never happens
we
to white.
should never
It never
have
happens
to
to
worry.
white people, ever,
We should
or Jewish
never-
people.
We should never have to worry about a store. We should never have to worry about a merchant throwing a brown person out on the street and saying they do not
have
want
daughters?
to serve them.
You have kids? You have
We
daughters?
shouldn't
Yes, I
have to
do.
worry
I do.
about that. But the fact is that all of those things are happening every day as we speak across America.
This is
we are
a
dealing
country-
with the very things.
Listen, there's
we
a
are
different-
dealing
listen.
with the very things. We're dealing with the. We're dealing
Look.
with the very things that we were told. Under the Jim Crow laws,
Oh,
we were
come
not
on,
supposed to
come
have
on.
access to.
Things
they-
have
they-
changed.
Things have changed, but at the end of the
Things
day,
have
Never
changed.
get it because he's never been there.
okay, so we can finish this conversation.
Okay,
You
fine.
think things are gonna change.
Of course
But
they
yeah,
changed.
for you,
For
no,
the
no,
Jews,
of
for
course,
everybody.
For me, for everybody. But
For
you
me,
have to
former
remember-
Soviet citizen, they changed
Right,
dramatically.
that's for you, but then again, you said you're not from here, right? Originally,
I lived in here.
You
I
live
was.
here now, but were you
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
were you
USSR.
born here?
Yeah, USSR.
Okay,
That's right.
So at the end of the day, and I'm gonna say this, and
Yes.
we're gonna agree to disagree.
Sure.
Your upbringing and what you've been through is not. You're not
Much
gonna
worse than
understand.
yours. Much
No,
worse
no,
than
we're
yours.
not sitting here
Much.
saying- no,
Do
we're
you
not
imagine
saying
if I were
that.
standing in the
You
street
can't sit here and
with
say that it's much
these?
worse. I don't know your
Do you know
story.
what
and you don't know
Gula-
what you know what I've been through. I can tell you, and I'm
I
only
want you.
Yes.
I want you to take your
Yeah.
clothes off right now in front of everyone here and get whipped. And I want your skin ripped down to the flesh, where the blood pours at your feet. Then you say that you have experienced what we have.
Have you?
And until
Have
you
you?
unstrip
You can't sit here and say
right
yours
now
is
and
worse.
say
And I'm not
you
saying
have
yours
been
is worse.
lashed to the bone.
Have
Do
you?
not say you have suffered the pain of another human
Have
being.
you?
Affirm and validate.
Have
the way we
you?
will affirm and validate. You
Have
as a Jew, you must affirm and validate us as
Have
people of color.
you
You're not
ever?
affirming. Affirm us.
Can I say one word?
Just
Say
affirm
what
us.
you
Can,
say.
can I ask one
But
question?
at the end of the day,
Have you
can't sit
ever
here-
been to Lubyanka headquarters?
Of course,
Ever?
I've never been there.
See?
But I'm not gonna. But you have never
So-
been sit here, born, taken from your mother, sold to somebody, just so at 4 years
Okay.
old you can be a slave.
Let-
No.
Can I give you a hug
I will
and
give
say
you a
God
hug.
bless America?
I will give you a hug. But at the end of the day, I will never sit here and say that my struggle is better than yours because I don't know what you've been
Better
through.
struggles. Struggles are
Or
all
worse.
bad.
So they're all bad. So you can't sit here and go to a person and say my struggle is worse, and then you don't know what they've been through. I would never say that to you. That would be
Well,
very
but
rude of me to say
she's
that to you.
implying. She's implying that. I'm not implying
No,
anything.
I don't think she's implying that. What I'm saying is that you can't sit here and play, oh, my life is
And
worse
I'm not
than
raising my
yours.
voice either, by the
No,
way.
it's fine. But we're just passionate people.
Me
Sorry.
too.
So at the end of the day,
Anyway,
we don't-
sisters.
I would never sit
I
here.
got all my sisters with me.
Exactly.
Sisters.
I would never sit here and say that your struggle.
Do I
is
deserve
worse
a hug?
than mine. You still get a hug.
Thank you.
It's America.
I'm gonna put it on camera. We're still Americans,
Yes.
right? White Americans, black Americans, Jewish Americans,
Americans.
the best country God has ever
I will say
given
this
us.
though.
Just don't screw it up.
Oh, we will never screw it up.
Right?
Good.
At the end of the day,
Oh my God.
this is a dialogue that has to happen. This is a
Good.
dialogue that needs to happen. And this is and not to say that who won an argument here. It's not about winning
No, of
argument, but
course
it's
it's
about
not. It's
having a dialogue.
Of course.
It's a tough discussion.
And we have to have
at
them.
least me and you can have
That caught
this,
you right
regardless.
on your cheek.
Regardless.
That's okay. I'll keep it as an honor.
Oh my God.
Actually, I get home. It's like, where did I get that? Uh-oh, I gotta be
We can have
careful.
this conversation.
No, it's a good conversation.
It's a great
Are
conversation.
you telling me that you really were where you were?
Wow,
It's like,
that's
yeah, why?
awesome.
What's on your cheek?
I'm gonna be like, what's on your cheek?
Okay,
We wanna
don't get him in trouble,
We don't
okay?
wanna get you in trouble now. We don't wanna
Nothing.
get you in
The
trouble.
other one, your significant other,
Yeah.
they have like, you know.
But I will say this.
Yes.
This is a great conversation.
Good.
Now, what we're saying is that the fact that we can have this dialogue and you're open to having a dialogue openly and respectfully.
Let me.
A lot of people
How
do
about
not.
this? Let
know
me
what
give
I
you my
mean?
card.
A lot of people do not.
You will see
I'm
where
from down south, so
It doesn't
a lot of
matter where it
people-
is.
It doesn't matter where it is. But a
YouTube
lot of people do not.
is all over the
Yeah.
all over the world.
Of course.
So watch one of my YouTube videos.
Of course.
You'll be
But I
there.
appreciate the conversation now. No,
Me
we-
too.
We appreciate the conversation.
Okay, good.
It's a good question to
Good.
have. And
So
hopefully
what
you
part of
gave
the
me a
South are you from?
We're originally from Georgia.
Oh, Georgia.
Atlanta. I've been living here in New York.
I have
for
family.
maybe 7 years now.
Uh-huh.
And the funny thing is that the reason why I moved up here is because I'm in the performing arts. So a lot of the times when I'm doing activism is through arts.
Through
But,
arts, okay.
The thing that people normally don't have is they don't have like a positive conversation where people are not listening to each other. And I can at least say I've listened to what you've said and I've heard you and I can understand where you're going through or where you've been.
Can I
Or
get
where
a,
you've
can
been.
I get a hug?
Namaste. I honor where you are, and I hope you honor where
Oh,
I am.
absolutely. This is America.
Then please don't ever again say that you suffered more than another human being. Say, I suffered and you suffered too.
We
and that's
all
the way,
suffered.
That's the way you can honor us. By
I do.
saying you
I do.
suffered also.
Of
Never
course.
ever again say you suffered more.
Suffered.
We all suffered.
Actually, I never suffered.
We all
I have,
good.
I have
Well,
positive
and that's
attitude.
even- and that's true.
I never
And that's
suffered.
true.
You never suffered.
Because it could always be worse, right?
It could always be worse.
Could
but
always
my
be worse.
past doesn't mean that I am where I am. It's not where I come from. It's not where I'm going. And that's the journey. Of
That's
it.
right.
No matter
That's right.
if you may call me a slave, that person may call me a slave. He has no idea where I'm going.
I was a
You know
slave.
what?
We were slaves too.
He has
See,
no
it
idea
just
where we're going.
depends on where you draw the line.
Yeah. But I'll give you a hug. 'Cause I appreciate the conversation. I really do. I'm probably sure you got all this
Sure.
on YouTube and everything.
All right. Here's
Thank
the hug.
you. Yes. Have this conversation. It always
right.
needs to happen. There's different people out there. But it doesn't hurt to get a perspective.
No.
Doesn't mean that you have to sit here and not stand your ground. You can stand your ground on what you believe for, but you also can listen too, especially if it's a person that's not coming at you with arms and stuff.
Never,
I mean-
never. Always with a smile.
Always with a smile. That's how you kill them. Kill them with kindness. I appreciate
Exactly.
it.
Okay. Anytime. See ya.